Hi, good afternoon. This is Elaine speaking, and very good welcome to all. And for today's webinar, we will be presenting to you on digital O&M management, contributing to a sustainable future. In today's topic, we are honored to invite two speakers, respectively from Microsoft and Mirai Electronic, whom is our energy partner, to address on how we can leverage technology towards sustainability. In addition, Jack Yang, our software project manager from Advantech HQ, will also be sharing on Advantech DeviceOn BI and open cloud-based industrial from IoT platform, which provide a device management and business integration solution designed in cooperation with Microsoft Azure's for software infrastructure. With no further ado, let us start the presentation.
Hi everyone, welcome to Advantech IoT webinar. I'm Connie, Senior IoT Solution Specialist from Asia IoT Partner Ecosystem Team at Microsoft. In this webinar, I will share with you some insights around manufacturing and energy industry. And following, we will have Jack from Advantech and Ajay from Mirai to talk about their innovative solutions. Manufacturers are experiencing unprecedented change and struggled to maintain production and contain costs, especially during pandemic, as they have to overcome even greater challenges to their existing skill gaps and find ways to support their frontline workers through remote assistance. We are seeing the investment in making factories smarter is accelerated for 20% increase in this year. The pandemic also accelerated the demand for always-on service, as their customers face their own skill shortages and are willing to pay a premium. We are seeing IoT and remote services increase technician productivity by 25%. And the greatest barrier to those trends is security. How to securely connect their factory assets for smart manufacturing or their customer assets to support remote assets by frontline workers. Removing those barriers is the key to accelerate digitalization and cloud adoption for manufacturing. So if we can help manufacturers with that, as you can see, it will unlock massive amounts of data, new insights, and drive opportunities for both efficiency and business models. Based on Microsoft analysis about how the COVID-19 outbreak directly impacted the industry, we have identified 5 items that are worth mentioning here. After pandemic, we are seeing significant needs for remote collaboration and productivity across the organization and throughout the extended value chain. And with so much dependent on technology and remote operations, there is a significant need for enhancing privacy and security to support remote work and collaborate anywhere, anytime for critical infrastructure. We are also seeing accelerated deployment of intelligent robotic process automation and low-code technologies to keep up with refactoring and customer service demands. AI-driven predictive analytics and digital twins will be used for data modeling, risk assessment, and execution for resilient supply chains. We are also seeing the technology for digital twins, mixed reality, and specialized compute will be adopted to accelerate the future product and process development. The digital transformation is also accelerated in energy industry. At Microsoft, we see digital transformation within the energy industry falling into these primary customer scenarios and outcomes. The first one is operate for the future. It is focused on providing the technology to empower you with the right information at the right time to ensure you can easily adapt to the changing market and the business conditions. It is about creating operational or resilient supply chain while generating value for the breadth of all stakeholders at the same time. The second one is transform your workforce. It focuses on empowering your workforce with tools from the office to shop floor or mobile workers to improve the collaboration and communication both internally and with your external partner and suppliers. The third focuses on the transition to clean energy and helping you achieve your net zero commitments through emissions reductions and efforts for the decarbonization. Finally, reimaging energy. It helps you with analytics and data to capitalize on your market positioning with growth opportunity with new products, new services, or new potential business models. While we have given some general guidance on which scenarios to prioritize, we also focus on the use cases that we are seeing relevant for success, especially during and after pandemic. For example, due to COVID impact, the use case of remote monitoring and adaptable robotic process automation are critical and important. In the meantime, we are seeing the organizations who made digitalization a priority and are more able to function virtually are more successful and can respond quickly during the pandemic. Advantech's DeviceOn BI is exactly the solution to accelerate the digital transformation journey for industry. Advantech, as our strategic partner, we have been working together for a long time on intelligent edge and intelligent IoT solutions. Advantech provides comprehensive IoT solutions, including sensor nodes, edge computing, software, and cloud services for various vertical applications. Today, Advantech built up DeviceOn BI on top of Azure. It is a device management and business integration platform to manage connected devices remotely and provide centralized management features with safety and efficiency. It can be adopted and integrated very easily to accelerate your digital transformation journey. Now, I'm very excited to have Jack from Advantech to elaborate more details on DeviceOn BI and following Ajay from Mirai to share their solution with you.
Thank you, Connie, and hello everyone. I'm the Software Product Manager of Advantech Industrial IoT. In this short session, I will introduce DeviceOn BI, the Industrial IoT Device Management and Business Integration Platform, a service based on Microsoft Azure. DeviceOn BI is created to accelerate digital transformation as well as to enhance the values after digital transformation. In the field of environmental and facilities monitoring in particular, there are three major aspects that values digital operation and maintenance most: safety, instant response, and efficient management. While we do find these three aspects important, but we also find some aches, on the other hand, to tackle before we can make use of data over digital transformation. These aches are: configuration and learning curve is heavy to get data sorted and gathered to a centralized platform. And after the data sorted, manage them and get them over to integrate to other platforms is also difficult and complicated. Therefore, Advantech provides three essential software that can easily assist you for the digital O&M business. The fundamental hierarchy of the OT data to application services is as shown, based on three major software solutions: AceLink, Web-based SCADA, and DeviceOn BI. The solutions to each layers allows domain partners to develop vertical needs among them, transforming traditional system integrator business model from pure configuration setup to operation services. DeviceOn BI is a business integration platform that helps businesses to integrate and accelerate the distributed devices operation and management over the cloud. With the aid of Microsoft Azure, all the fundamental infrastructure works and development time has been minimized, letting us to focus on what is essential for the field side as well as the scope that is required for operation management. Before going to the functions in DeviceOn BI, allow me to outline the architecture we used in Microsoft Azure. In general, we use Azure Kubernetes Service and storage application combinations to fulfill DeviceOn BI. The right-hand side lists the storage services DeviceOn BI used. With the aid of Microsoft Azure, we gained three major benefits. In connectivity, the entrance for all connections requires high security and reliability. By using Azure IoT Hub, we can focus on the data after connection without any noises. The high self-provisioning of resources that can be easily turned to fit the market change gives us agility to make necessary changes at any instance. Finally, Scalability is extremely important because adjustments occur every day in the IoT world. The auto-scale Cosmos DB from Azure provides the tendency that allows us to process data from various dimensions whenever it is needed. Here is the summarized hierarchy of the layers to the end device to the cloud services. DeviceOn BI is a web-based service platform that allows you to make hierarchical organization management, as well as some features regarding to the management of the vertical devices over the cloud platform. In short, if you would like to have the IoT device for centralized management, creating monitoring dashboards, managing the virtual twin objects, or receive alarm notification of the connected devices, DeviceOn BI is the best tool for you to accomplish the needs. The practices are best fit for flood monitoring, facilities monitoring, distributed system management, as well as the overall environmental monitoring for all sorts of distributed systems. Together with the various edge hardware provided by Advantech, DeviceOn BI provides general functions that is fundamentally ready to build your domain application scenario. Domain partners just have to focus on their expertise and finish the final touches to make the solution-ready package. The 5 examples of the domains are listed here for your quick reference. DeviceOn BI consists of 2 major parts, device management platform and a data management platform. The partners can remotely configure and distribute the settings on a centralized platform. Let me show you some of the functions in the coming slides. Here are the categorized major functions in DeviceOn BI Business Integration Portal. The main concept to handle data in DeviceOn BI is in terms of objects. These objects are categorized in the organization with respect to the owner and the role privileges within the organization, designed from the management perspective. The plugin feature can obtain information such as weather forecast or data calculated by third-party sources, which bridges the ecosystem in a faster pace. I will introduce some outstanding functions in the coming pages. Let's take a closer look for the functions of DeviceOn BI. I will not go through too much in details as you can find the video materials in Advantech Academy provided by our solution engineers. However, the concept of DeviceOn BI organization hierarchy is essential because all management starts with an organization. And in each organization, the management and engineering setup perspective is different. DeviceOn BI provides user-friendly interfaces that can help you to build up the configurations in a very short time. And as to operation control and monitoring, the structured dashboard can be designed as well as reports can be generated. DeviceOn BI uses the concept of virtual objects. We need to highlight this because the virtual object is the actual thing we care the most in terms of O&M business. The object is formed by the actual important sensor tags grouped together and provide a name. For example, we can gather information from various sensors devices such as power and water flow to name an object pump. This allows further data exchange much more flexible and readable to communicate with various people or teams. Once we have everything packed and as an object, dashboard drawing can be much easier by using the dashboard wizard, since the only thing we have to do after selecting and placing the panels of the dashboard will be associating which of the object parameter to the respective panel, and it is done. No coding is required. Next, the device management functions allows customers to set up and view the instant status of device connected. Depending on the type of the device connected, firmware OTA or platform computer applications remote installations can also be done. The real-time monitoring gives you a glimpse of the device status. From I/O readings to platform system information, the trend provides overall quick lookup of the device. In the firmware OTA function, we can select the version that applies to the device best and review the installation history. For platform computers, additional private repository can be added to protect customers' own applications as well as install applications or drivers that applies to the generic models. The installation history also provides the records of what has been done to the device. Let me wrap up my sharing today with this picture again. DeviceOn BI is a business integration platform that accelerates digital O&M setup. Customers can have preemptive response, secure operation safety, and bring up maintenance efficiency. With the functions developed and running on Microsoft Azure, DeviceOn BI delivers a reliable and promising service, leaves no worries for service administrators as well as domain service providers. Next, I would like to invite Ajay, the CTO of Mirai Electronics from Singapore, to share us the insights of their solutions. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thanks, Jack, and welcome, everybody. My name is Ajay. I work in Mirai Electronics in Singapore. We are the co-creation partners of Advantech. Today, we will talk about maintenance and upkeep of small and medium-sized solar PV power plants and how it was facilitated by Advantech products. As we all know, solar PV industry is growing around the world at a very fast pace, and Singapore is no exception. The government of Singapore is encouraging all entities to use more of renewable energy sources. Singapore has achieved its 2020 target of 350 megawatt peak in the first quarter of 2020 itself. In the longer term, Singapore is working towards achieving a new solar target of at least 2 gigawatt peak by 2030 and an additional storage deployment target of at least 200 megawatt beyond 2025. As Singapore does not have a huge land mass, it is making innovative use of rooftops, walkways, and vacant land parcels. Medium-sized plants are installed at the rooftops of apartment buildings that range from 100 kilowatt peak to 300 kilowatt peak. Larger size plants, 500 kilowatt peak up to 5000 kilowatt peak, are installed on the rooftops of industrial buildings. Solar PV plants at vacant plants are designed to be relocatable in case land parcel is acquired for more important use in future. All the PV systems in Singapore are grid tied and with no energy storage. This is due to lack of space availability. This kind of system topology creates a massive maintenance and logistical issues. The system operator not only needs a real-time information, but also consolidated reports and analysis of the system performance, considering that most of the systems are shut down at night. The monitoring and maintenance of a solar PV plant has multiple levels of operations. However, the overall key indicator of system performance is what is known as performance ratio. We must understand, unlike the traditional sources of power, that is thermal, hydro, or fuel, the power output of a solar PV generator is not constant, and it varies in tandem with the amount of sunlight falling on the panels. Therefore, the solar PV system hardly ever work at the design values, and the only way to know how well the system is performing is to know how much of the sunlight was converted to electricity over a period of time. Apart from sunlight, there are other environmental factors that affect the performance of PV system. These include, but not limited to, dust accumulated over the panels, temperature of the solar panels, as well as the condition and the temperature of inverters. All these parameters need to be considered while judging the performance of the system as being optimal or not. Considering all the issues surrounding the solar PV system operations, we needed to design systems that collect all relevant data in real time, work 24/7 in harsh conditions, unmanned and outdoor conditions, do computations for calculating the performance of the system, generate daily reports, generate alerts based on preset conditions and alarm conditions. I believe by now you would have some idea of the complexity of the problem. However, the solution does not necessarily have to be complex or complicated. While working towards a solution, we at Mirai looked at certain key factors while selecting products for the end solution. The first and the foremost criterion for product selection was the product reliability, design life, and long-term support. This is the most important and defining feature of any industrial solution design. One may easily be tempted to use products like Pi or Arduino, but these are short recipes for future disasters. These may work for some time, but will not sustain harsh conditions in the field. These are not designed for long working life either. It is therefore important to choose the right partner, right product that will run with you for the long term. The second important factor is the software features available in the selected product. While evaluating software, one must see the kind of OS that is used, whether the system uses a standard OS or a custom OS. It is far easier to work with standard OSs like Microsoft Windows LTSB rather than any custom OS. LTSB variants in general guarantee a long-term support. Next on the list is the availability of industry standard protocols on the selected product. It must have built-in support minimally for Modbus, 60870, BACnet, DNP3, OPC, etc. Besides, it must also support cloud-side protocols like MQTT and Azure IoT Hub, among others. As a solution provider, one must bear in mind you must focus on solving customer problem and not the product problem. In the other words, while some products may look cheaper, you would have to spend much more time in enabling or integrating the necessary required protocols. This solution may work, but there's no guarantee it will continue to work, and there will be no one to support on this. This kind of solution has neither thoroughly been tested nor ruggedized for long-term usage and is best avoided. Furthermore, one must realize that almost all typical solar PV installations are remote, unmanned, and not easy to access. Therefore, having remote access to the site via VPN or any other means, that is the most valuable cost differentiator. One may be tempted to think, after selecting rugged, reliable, and long life products, there would be no need to visit the sites other than regular maintenance visits. The need to attend to sites is much more than anticipated. There are many reasons for a system to misbehave, including electrical tripping, lightning, etc. As such, one can minimize the service costs by enabling remote access to the monitoring systems. One must also very strongly resist the temptation of using latest available products for these solutions. I'm not saying that the new products may not be suitable, but there are logical reasons for not rushing into the same. Product selection begins with knowing your market. If you do not know your market, you have no right to be there. Having said that, I would like to emphasize the criticality of product qualification and selection process. Once you know your market requirements, select a manageable set of products that meet your needs and focus on this set. Of course, there will always be outliers and exceptions, and these can be dealt as such. And as the market or the product changes, you would also vary your qualified product mix. On the face of it, the process using a limited set of products may look counterintuitive, but it pays in the long run. Firstly, using one product in higher number of projects will offer you economy of scale. It will also make it easy for you to service the product and the site. You gain more experience using this product and you will be able to resolve issues faster, and in most cases, you would be able to prevent the issues from happening at all. Having said this, let me now delve a bit deeper into our solutions. We here in Singapore have two broad categories of PV systems, those above 1 megawatt peak and those below 1 megawatt peak. Both have distinctly different set of requirements that determine the kind of solution that we offer to our customers. Those sites with the generation capacity above 1 megawatt peak are typically installed at commercial properties. These sites require local data storage, local data visualization, real-time reporting to power system operator, among other requirements. These systems typically have more than 50 inverters and together with the sensors and other network devices. The solution this kind of system requires is a ruggedized IPC based with appropriate software and the capacity to enable us to create SCADA system with at least 5 years data history as well as rugged network connectivity. For the sites with generation capacities below 1 megawatt peak, particularly those below 500 kilowatt peak, we do not necessarily need a real-time reporting system. These kind of sites typically do not need local data or reporting. In other words, the cost of monitoring systems needs to be more affordable in comparison to the project cost. As such, we at Mirai focused on two sets of products for our solutions from Advantech. The first solution comprises an IPC and a router besides other devices. The IPC that we chose from the UNO series comes bundled with Windows 10 LTSB OS and Web Access SCADA. That is enough for our purposes. The number of tags is expandable if required in future. LTSB variant ensure long-term support for the OS, at least as long as the design life of the product. The router family that we selected from the ICR series is flexible and has the capacity to run applications and Node-RED scripts. The overall solution, together with the additional software developed by Mirai, is therefore extremely flexible and versatile compared to our competition. We pre-package our systems right from the factory, ordered under BTO system, with minimal intervention required at Mirai workshop before shipping to the customer. In general, it takes us not more than 1 to 2 working days to commission an entire site, and that too remotely. The second solution comprises IoT Edge device from the ECU Edge Link family and Adam IoT series of IO devices. ECU series has the capacity to double up as a router as well as a SCADA master. However, with the limited capacity and capability, ECU devices cannot handle dashboards and cannot store data for a long time. As such, ECU devices are configured to work with a backend system that then hosts the historical data and visualizations and other analytics. Both the solutions that we offer are very versatile and can handle multiple industry standard protocols simultaneously. At the same time, both solutions can communicate with the backend cloud systems that particularly use Azure IoT Hub Sync. These solutions therefore provide extreme flexibility to our end customers to choose any kind of backend system that suits them and not be bound to any single vendor. In conclusion, I would like to mention that our solutions are flexible enough to read data from multiple devices from multiple vendors, especially in case of inverters, and provide a uniform visualization across all brands. Thus far, our customers had to switch from one vendor portal to another vendor portal for retrieving the data for their sites and did not have a consolidated view of all their plants that were operated by them. With our multi-vendor, multi-protocol support, we can offer a unified data view across all sites and brands to our customers. It is important to note that your experience and common sense play a much greater role in customer satisfaction than actual working of the solution. One must understand that any solution that you offer is expected to work and does not come as a surprise to the customer. However, how you make it work to your customer's benefit is what counts. As you would have gathered by now, most of our sites are scattered and not easily accessible. Using custom-built products from inverter manufacturers does indeed do the job. However, when sites are small and scattered, the cost of using such custom equipment is rendered uneconomical and still does not provide seamless access across the sites. Using our solutions, customer has the flexibility to use any brand of inverters without having to worry about the cost of, and as these remain predictable with our solution. Since our selected Advantech products can support multiple protocols, our solutions are capable to be retrofit in existing and legacy systems as well. Having introduced our solutions, I would like to share with you a couple of examples that demonstrate the innovativeness of our solutions. One of our customers was facing low production and yield in his solar PV system, and he was unable to quantify why it is so. After installing our systems, the customer could pinpoint the cause of the failure before it actually resulted in further substantial losses. In this solution, we are capturing key inverter parameters and alarms which were not previously done. Customer eventually found out that production loss was caused by a high number of fan failures. Our systems immediately alerts the concerned staff if there is any alarm generated by the inverters, and the staff attended to it immediately. The customer also decided eventually to keep high failure spare parts in stock so that the replacements could happen immediately. This saved customer from incurring generation losses which otherwise were unnoticed. We are now being approached by our customers to develop solutions for preventive and predictive maintenance as well as energy forecasting. This is something that we are working closely with Advantech to develop. We hope to bring these new offerings to the market in sometime in second half of 2022. Thank you for listening, and back to you, Jack.
And with that, our time has come to an end. I want to thank Ajay and Connie for sharing so much of your time, expertise, and insights with us today. And to our audience, thank you for joining us. If you have questions you would like to more information on anything, you can reach out us at www.advantech.com and azuremarketplace.microsoft.com. We look forward to seeing you online and answering your questions. For Advantech, I'm Jack Yan, and hope to see you again soon. So long. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.
Thank you for joining. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you for watching the webinar. This is Jack from Advantech HQ, and I hope you enjoyed it and find it interesting and useful. Before we wrap up today, I would like to share you a short clip about Wise Marketplace, the online IoT store that allows you to discover the applications and services you need to realize digital transformation. You can find categorized software products, solutions, and tailor-made vertical applications that can accelerate your business. So here's the clip.
Okay, thank you for Connie, AJ, Jack. on the comprehensive presentation. Okay, hope y'all have enjoyed the presentation and do get some insights from these two comprehensive presentation. Prior to this webinar, we do receive a couple of message from the ground on some issues on Microsoft Azure, especially on the security recovery, should there be any of the disruption arise. Hereby, we would like to introduce or rather invite our project software manager, David Yong, who is based in Singapore. Hi, David. There are some questions from the ground. They would like to understand more about Microsoft Azure security management. Well, would you like to address on that?
Yeah, hi, Eileen. Thank you so much for the questions. So yeah, the questions I believe a lot of the audience would like to know is whether Azure Cloud is secure to run your application, to store your data, and all those concerns that a lot of people will have. Actually, just let me introduce a little bit about the Azure Service Security Management layer. So on this screen here, you can see that actually when it comes to security, there are a couple of different areas that Azure is addressing some of the areas, like as you can see on the first column, there is identity and access management, and then you have the app and data protection, and then network security, threat protection, security management, and all these different areas Azure actually will try to address for you. So if you look at the first column, things like Azure Active Directory, so it is very similar thing to your what you have been using for a very long time, the Active Directory on-premise. So now you have Azure Active Directory, which is quite a similar product, but there are some differences, of course. This is a cloud-based Active Directory. So, and then you have multi-factor authentication, and then you have role-based access control, because in the modern world, security is about identity. It's not just your internal network that protects all your internal data, internal network. But in the modern world, identity is the new standard to protect your data and your assets. So Azure services provide this role-based access control to give you the control over the identity, so that it protects the identity and all the data. And if you look at the second column, you have the app and data protection. So we have things like disk encryption, storage encryption, your SQL encryption, things like that. And then you have the Azure Key Vault to store your certificates, your secrets, your passwords, your SSH keys, RSA keys. All those stuff can be stored on Azure Key Vault, which is a cloud-based key storage facilities. And then you look at the third column, you have the network security. So network security is very important, very crucial when it comes to connecting, for example, connecting your on-premise network to the cloud network, which is Azure network. So you have the VNet, which is a virtual network, and then you have VPN. You can connect site VPN to your on-premise network. And then you can use NSG, Network Security Group, to control the flow between your different networks. And then you have application gateway with the firewall, Web Application Firewall, WAF, and then Azure Firewall as well. So they are also very similar to your on-premise firewall, which is to control the traffic and also filter the traffic. And then you also have DDoS protection, ExpressRoute. ExpressRoute is a tool that allow you to connect your on-premise network to the cloud, so that you can connect to your application in the cloud in a very secure fashion. And then come to the final two columns, you have threat protection and security management. So these two columns basically protects you from things like malware, viruses, or any other threats in the market out there. So Azure, they have a tool or a service called Security Center. Security Center actually has been renamed to another name, which is called Microsoft Defender for Cloud. Basically, it's a suite of tools to allow you to monitor your entire infrastructure, whether on-prem or cloud. You can monitor all the infrastructure and make sure they are protected against some of the latest malware or viruses in the market. So it gives you a security posture so that you can understand whether your infrastructure is in a dangerous situation, in a critical situation. Or for example, you have a port 80 opened by one of your engineers. So you will know that if you have a security center to monitor all your assets. So, and then you have the Microsoft anti-malware for Azure. So this is a free tools you can apply to your virtual machines, to your IaaS infrastructure as a service virtual machine. You can apply that. It's a free tool. Then you have Azure Log Analytics. So this can allow you to analyze the logs of all your infrastructure on Azure and also on-premise, so that you can get a deep dive into what are the things happening in your infrastructure. So with all these tools combined together, actually Azure is a very safe place. I would say whatever you've done on premise is actually kind of similar. You can transfer the skills over to the cloud as well, like the firewall, key vault, all those things are actually comes from the on-premise technology as well. So, and on top of that, you get like things like Security Center. All this is cloud native security products, which complements to what you have on your on-prem system. So actually, Azure gives you a lot of security measures so that you can secure your environment, secure all your infrastructure better. So yeah, that's all for the security of the Azure.
Thanks, David. So I do have another question from the. They were asking whether can my business use Azure? So would you like to address this as well?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question again. So the question is, can my business use Azure? Actually, the answer is absolutely yes. Any business can use Azure Cloud. For any business, I would say try to look into what kind of problems you're trying to solve. For example, if you want a file share, if you want to set up a file share in the cloud, then it is available. There's a file share service on Azure. If you want to connect your on-premise to the cloud, so that it gives you a single pane of glass for management purposes, Azure is available for that. So if you want to back up, if you have a limitation of storage, on-premise storage, you want to back up your data to the cloud using the highly scalable, highly available storage in the cloud, it is available as well. So try to look at what kind of problems you are trying to solve, then investigate that and see if Azure have that solution for you. So it's a yes.
I see. Okay, I think we do have quite a fair bit of questions on that. We do have one that was asking, how much will Azure cost? I think that is one of the major concerns asking about what are costing like, especially if they are intended to use Azure for any of their business usage. So I think that is one of the relevant questions that the ground has been prompting. Do you want to talk about it?
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the question. How much will Azure cost? Actually, Azure is tools that you can use based on pay-per-use basis. Basically, how much you use, for example, per hour, per minute, how much you use, that then Azure will bill you for how much you use. So, and the pricing is very transparent. You can get it from the website, https double slash azure.microsoft.com pricing calculator. So you can get all the prices from there. So it's very transparent. So that also gives you a way so that you can calculate, so you can estimate how much you're going to spend if I'm going to deploy, let's say, this architecture on the cloud. It gives you an idea how much monthly expenses I will have to pay for this project, for example. So it's very transparent. You can even spin up a Linux Ubuntu virtual machine for a couple of dollars a month using some of the lowest end of the IS virtual machine sizes. So yeah, it's very transparent. It can be very cheap. It can be on a higher side. Depends on your requirement.
I see. Okay. Thank you so much for answering that questions. So okay, for now, I think we have come to almost the end of it. If you should have any questions that probably you come across later of the months or even after this webinar, do feel free to actually get in touch to us. Or you can write an email to us at sg@advantech.com. All right, thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.